Hello everyone and welcome back to video 3 of 3 of our Black Flag playtest packet character creation walkthrough here. And as of the last 2 weeks, we created ourselves a dwarf with the elf heritage, we created an elf with the human heritage, and we're going to finish off this one with the human with the dwarf heritage lineup. Let's go ahead and create ourselves a character. We're going to name it Human Black Flag because I don't have any names for them yet. Okay, so we have ourselves Human Black Flag. We will go ahead and start with looking at our human lineage traits. And then we have our speed. Our speed is 30, which is defaulted here. And then we have ambitious. You gain proficiency in one skill of your choice, and you gain one talent of your choice. You know, we have ourselves ambitious, so we can choose one of these skills to choose from. And usually, perception is probably going to be your best one. We could also say investigation. Those are usually some top choices here. So for the time being, we'll just go with perception. And then we also get a talent. So we can choose any talent we want. I would think that since we already have a soldier and some kind of a warrior class, we also have a caster with our elf, some kind of a mage class. We have, of the two technical ones left open, we have the expert and we also have the priest class. So we're going to be some kind of an expert here. I'm going to go with mental fortitude. We're going to say our human here has been through some rigorous mental exercises and their fortitude has increased for mind-altering effects. And we have ourselves a brain for a mental fortitude. We gain the following benefits once per long rest. If we fail an int, wisd, or charisma save, we can reroll and take the new result. And then we have to declare this intention before we reroll the events before we see if the save was resolved or whatnot. And then on top of that, we also, if we have any ongoing spell or magical effects due to failing the int, wisdom, or charisma save, we can repeat the save at the end of your turn, ending the effect in a success, even if the ongoing magical effect would not typically allow you to do so. For an expert, I think out of all of these talents, this is probably the best one to choose. We finished up part of that. Let's get back up to our human. And we have our ambitions. We're all done here. So now we need to go for our heritage. And with that, we have our Fireforge or the Stone Heritage. So with our Fireforge, we have Expert Artisan, Forgecraft, and Friend to the Elements, plus Reforge. So we have a bunch of options here. For the Stone one, we have Weapon Training, Weapon Armor Training, Tool Proficiencies, and Eye for Quality. Let's just leave it up to chance here and go ahead and roll a 1d2 to see what we get. So 1 will be the first fire option, and 2 will be the stone option. Here comes the roll. And it's a 2. So we are going with the Stone Heritage. And then we get Dwarven Weapon Training. You have proficiency with the Battle Axe, Hand Axe, Light Hammer, and Warhammer. Let's go ahead and click on that weapon proficiency. And let's see here. Light Hammer and the Warhammer, the Hand Axe and Battle Axe. So our Hand Axe is up here and the Battle Axe is up here. So we got 2 simple weapons and 2 martial weapons. And then we also have Dwarven Armor Training. All right, so we'll go ahead and give ourselves some armor proficiency, which we have with light and medium armor. So we're proficient with light and medium. And then let's see here. Your speed is not reduced by wearing heavy armor regardless of your strength score. So that's going to be actually really handy. So then we also get tool proficiency. You gain proficiency with the artisan's tools of your choice. Smith, brewers, or masons. So let's go with mason tools. You know, human raised in dwarf society would probably be the easier of them all. So our human here is going to use the mason's tool proficiency. And then Eye for Quality. Whenever you make an ability check related to your origin of metalwork or masonry in this case, you can add your proficiency bonus, and you can also double that if you have the relevant skills and tools, which is nice. All right, so that is it for our lineage and heritage. Let's go ahead and pick a random background. So we're going to need to decide one way or the other here. So we're going to say 1 is going to be scholar and 2 will be the soldier, since we don't have any other options, sadly. We didn't get a third background. And here comes the result. Oh, we have another soldier. Okay. Here's where things get interesting. Because we're going to be an expert, definitely survival. I think survival is going to be key for our human raised in dwarf society. And also athletics. I think athletics is going to be the other way to go with this. We also get additional proficiencies with land and vehicles and 1 tool of your choice. Human and dwarf society, definitely going to be land vehicles for sure. So we'll go back here. And we'll say land vehicles and another tool of our choice. Why not? Glass blowers. That's kind of cool. Mason tools, glass blowers tools. I think that kind of works together. And then lastly, we have equipment. So we get the same equipment as before. And we will drag and drop some stuff into there. We have a mess kit, drag that in. Let's see here. We'll go with dice this time instead of the playing set. So our characters are a little different than before. Common clothes. Again, we want to click that shield to say that we are wearing it. And then also, what else do we get? A pouch with 10 gold pieces. Before we get into the talents, let's go ahead and roll out our motivations so we can see what's motivating our human in dwarf society to be a soldier. We'll go ahead and roll that D8, and if we get the same as the other one, we will just, re-roll something different. An 8. Okay, so adventuring is a way to hone my skills before I can return my life as a soldier. Return to my life as a soldier? That one's a little confusing. Anyways, there's our motivation. Now, let's go back to our talent and pick our talent for our human raised with dwarves. So here we could choose armor training, combat casting, or combat conditioning. We're already trained in all this. So actually, our expert being having armor training could be a really good option here, being able to wear heavy armor possibly. And we also have the ability to not be weighed down as well. So let's do that. Let's jump down to armor training. You have trained to master the use of armor. You gain proficiency with light armor. We already have it. So we get it with medium. We already have that. If you're already proficient with medium armor, then when you select this talent, you get proficiency with heavy armor. So we also, as a benefit, gain proficiency with shields. So now we are an expert proficient with everything, which is really fantastic. Let's go ahead and throw that in here. So we're going to come here and throw this in as a passive talent, which is kind of funny. And there we go. We are now officially armor trained. And as a potential expert, this is really funny. The last thing we have to do is pick our scores, and so let's jump up to the attribute points spot. So we're just going to do the standard array and go ahead and throw some stuff in here. We're going to definitely do the 16 for our dexterity because we're doing we're doing some kind of an expert here. We're going to do the 16. Unless this ends up becoming a bard, then we will switch that out. But we'll have to wait and see what kind of classes come with the next playtest packet or whenever we get classes. I'm going to say 13 Constitution. And then from there, let's see here. What would be good for our expert? Well, Charisma is definitely going to be dumped for 8, unfortunately. And I'm going to say we're going to leave Strength at 10, which is kind of amusing. So lastly is, do we do a 12 or a 15 here? We do have Survival and Perception, so our 15 would probably be better for an expert here. So we'll say 15 there, and then we will also put a 12 here for our standard array. So we have that. We have our 16, 15, 13, 12, 10, and 8. We have everything selected for our human Black Flag playtest Stone Heritage character. This is it. We have ourselves all of our characters. We have our dwarf, our elf, and our human. All right, thanks everyone. And hopefully by this time, because this was done way in advance, the second playtest packet is out, and I'm already updating these characters with some classes or something, or making a new character. Who knows? Anyways, I'll see you next time. Thanks!